All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rekah HaKodash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All right, first off, I want to say Shalom to the ones that push this word out in truth and in sincerity, which are the apostles and elders on down to the brothers. Right, and Shalom to the ones that endure this faith until the very end, until the time of Jacob's trouble, which are, again, the apostles and elders on down to the brothers and a few sisters. All right, so Shalom. I want to do this quick video based on something I've been actually looking into. The Boston Massacre, right? This is a prime example. If anything, this is just an example of them, fighting against each other as they've done for millennia now, and shows how unruly and how undisciplined, the society really is. It's, I'm just looking at the stuff with the, for example, these trends, people dying, the what's her name, Sexy Red, her bragging about all the diseases that she got, all of it is just a full-on example of this society. It's a snowball effect. It's rolling down a hill, right? It's rolling down a hill, and it's just getting worse and worse until it all collapses. That's when you go into Isaiah 14, right? 14 and if I remember, verse 11, right? Thy pomp is being brought down to the grave, right? That pomp was, the excellency of this man's power structure, his society, his influences, and his influences sprawl out into many other avenues, which goes into the media, the entertainers, the mindset of the people, right? Shit, it even goes into the CERN project. This man is pushing out portals. Now I wonder why these people are acting up like crazy. It's demons. So I wanted to go into the Boston Massacre, right? You had they was, first of all, it was riots, right? The riots happened because this was in 1770, right? So this is hundreds of years ago, right? British soldiers, pretty much, they was enforcing tax laws, and what the people did, right? The colonists, they had American colonists. They was revolting against, these taxes being pushed on them. And what happened? It shows a form of disorder. So then the riots broke out. A misunderstanding happened. They started shooting. Allegedly, somebody said fire. And they started shooting. But all of this shows a prime example of this man, not having order. Him going against what we see today. Russia and Ukraine. America versus Russia. What does it say right here? Right, this is Ezekiel 38 and 39. It says, Salaki, that's through 39, verse 1. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. Right, so this is what, again, we bring this example out every time. You had, what, Gog and Magog. These are two lands that's fighting against each other. And that's what you see today. America and Russia, that's what? Gog and Magog. The chief prince of Meshech and Tabal, and prophecy against him, right? Prophesy against him. That's what we're doing. We're prophesying against, this, first of all, we're prophesying against this man, the rulers. What happened before, man, you had the prophets of old. That's where I'm getting at. The prophets of old and the prophets of today. What did the scriptures say? They prophesied against many countries, right, against many kingdoms and the famines. And that's what we out here to do today. We're prophesying against what we see that's happening again over and over again, right? There's nothing new under the sun. Their presidential aspects, what is that? Democrats and Republicans. All it is modern day versions of, the plebeians and patricians, right? It's like a gamble. The presidency, it's a gamble. It's a gamble between each other in its own ranks, in its own military. The same thing you see is America and Russia, which is Gog and Magog. They're all fighting each other, right? Now what does this go into? This goes into Obadiah 1 and verse 7. Right, Salakia. Yep. Because Obadiah 1 verse 7, all of Obadiah really, that goes into, exposing of Esau. Right? Because what have they done? All the violence that they've done, as well as Habakkuk. But again, Obadiah 1 verse 7, that goes into slavery, but it also goes into themselves. Right? It even, verse 6, they'll steal till they have enough. Like, they will not have enough whatsoever. So, this is Obadiah 1 and 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Right? So the men of thy confederacy is the military. And that's what you see right now. Again, with the Boston Massacre of 1770, that was what the British soldiers, it's still linked. Why? Because British, they've always been inclined with America. Shit, the English language is not even from Britain. It was from Germany. English was a West Germanic language that was brought over to Britain. And Britain brought it, further, right? But it was brought by the Anglo-Saxons. But it says, the men that were at peace with thee, with you shall deceive you, right? So, that was another translation. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Right? So, again, they brought us to the border, but then this is a border of wickedness. This border is also the border of confusion as well. So, we're being brought into slavery, captivity, but then their own military is fighting against each other while we're brought into this. It's almost like one of those three-way fights. Right? The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. They're known for, again, Obadiah verse 7, I went into this. They were known for their, import-export trade routes. But then they were at peace with other countries, but they said, how come our allies, they went against us? Their own allies were the ones that were really against them. It says, and have prevailed against thee, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. This man has no understanding whatsoever. You build, you say that you're impoverished, right? Malachi 1 and 4. You build the desolate places, but then you fight your own. And then you tax the people, that live in your own society, right? To gain, you're benefiting. But then what happened? You kill each other. You bring us in, to our captivity, but then you're still fighting each other. What sense did that make? So, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, and Shalom.